Hey guys, it's Jake from Stay Fun. Today we're gonna work on getting this camper resealed. So as y'all might have seen, we had to repair a little bit of water damage here in a previous video. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Linked in the description below. But now that we've repaired the damage, we want to make sure the water doesn't get back in. So we're going to take all of the trim pieces off and reseal it with some of this butyl tape here. Seal some of the cracks with some flex glue and replace the screws with the sealed screw and try and prevent water from causing too many future issues. It's going to be a little bit of a project. We got to take the windows out to get the sealant behind it. We got to take trim pieces off the sides to get the sealant behind those. We're gonna bring y'all along for the ride. So this is some of the old trim here. Looks like someone has tried to caulk it again before. But we're gonna go ahead and pull it off, clean it up behind it, and retape it. These annoying flatheads, I hate them. So that's what the butyl tape looks like. This is kind of putty type material. That's probably the original stuff from 1962. Yep, that's disgusting. So now we're gonna take all this butyl tape out of the seam of this thing and off of the side of the camper. Probably gonna end up using the oscillating tool with the scrape attachment to try and get it all out. Nasty butyl tape feeling. Well, there's a window. Configuration make more sense. Someone tried to do some caulk job at some point. So when I first got this thing, I actually took some Flex Seal and I went over all of the seams on the roof because it was leaking a little bit before. So the Flex Seal comes down this corner just a touch. So I'm actually gonna leave it, since it's doing a good job as it is and it'd be a pain to clean up, leave it there, peel the rest of this back enough to get the butyl tape underneath it. And I might end up using some of that Flex glue to make sure it's sealed right there in the transition. But that's the plan for the front, and the entire top is all Flex Seal. So leaving it alone. Got one window in so far, and what I've figured out is it's easiest if I take the butyl tape, go ahead and lay it along the strip, press it in nice and firm all the way down, and then I can pull the backing tape off and put it up on the camper and screw it in. So that's what I've been doing, and we're just going to continue that. So I figured out that the awning piece screws in right here, and as you can see, there's no backer board, so it doesn't really screw into anything but tin. I want to get that fixed, so we're going to put a few boards in between there, and what's really nice about that is I can work inside where this nice AC is. So I'm actually not even going to worry about screwing these into the studs. because the only purpose is to have something from the outside to screw into. So that'll still at least hold the thing onto the side of the camper a whole lot better, even without having anchors into the studs. I'm afraid if I tried to drill sideways into these studs that I might break them. I don't want to do that. Some of this flex glue, we'll see how well it works. We're just going to seal up this corner where it's got a hole in the 10 and a couple other spots on the camper as well. Stuff's stuck on there. Butyl tape. Ugh. There we go. That's gonna be fun to clean up. Now this one, if y'all remember, in the rot video, linked in the description below if you haven't seen it, we had to replace that board right there. So now we get to reseal this corner so that we don't get any rot back in there, and hopefully it'll stay good for longer, or at least just as long. 62 to now is pretty good. Well, I got all the windows done. Now I got left is the door. Why did I decide to leave the hardest thing for last? Hoping I can just take the hinges out and door off, and then these outsides will come off a lot easier. Guess we'll find out. Now, Jay, don't be leaving the door open. What were you, raised in a barn? I can't close it. It appears that did not need to come off. I'll put this one back on when I get this whole thing out. I'm gonna leave the other one on. this thing didn't even have any sealant on it. So the rain lip actually just screwed into the tin as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this board here as a support board, screw into board. And we'll go ahead and zap a couple screws down into this one so it stays still. So with the rain lip, I'm actually gonna use flex glue on this because that's kind of a thin patch that's gonna be attaching to the camper. And I have a feeling the butyl tape would just be sticking out either side of it, and it would look a little tacky. So, flex glue it is. Here it goes. All right, I'll start putting butyl tape on. I'll be honest with you, kind of afraid that since I'm putting this back in, the door may not fit. So I think I'm gonna stick the door in, make sure it closes tight, and then stick the rest of the screws in or adjust as I need to. That's not a good feeling. Other than the hinge being in the incorrect spot because I messed with it earlier, other than that it lines up great, which means it doesn't line up. It's just barely off. Alright, let's go see if it shuts now. Alright, let's check this out. Well, I think it does about as well as it used to. That'll work. Surprise guys, it's done. I don't know how much y'all were able to see. My GoPro battery was about dead, so I set it aside and the main cam shut off at some point. But I adjusted the door a little bit. Had to loosen some of these screws along the side and up at the top. And I shifted the frame some so that I got a little bit more clearance down here at the bottom. And then sucked them all back in there. I'm gonna use some flex glue and seal up these corners, because I have a feeling that's probably the most likely spot for water to get in and rot the wood that we just replaced. So I'll flex glue those and we'll call it good. We used almost all of the butyl tape we bought. We used almost all of the screws we bought. And we've got a fairly well sealed camper. So now we can start remodeling. Thanks for watching guys. Y'all have a good one.